If you pay attention to real estate news at all, most of the headlines lately have been about why right now is a terrible time to be buying a house. I read all this stuff. I read one the other day that said the math no longer works for buying a home. And I like to see the charts and graphs, and I like to see people's methodologies and kind of nerd out on the math of how they come up with their opinions. And lately, I've been asking everybody that comes in this question: do you think home prices will go up or down over the next few years? And everybody has a different opinion on this topic. So I thought I would share some of my methodology and the things that have influenced my opinion on this topic. The first one, this chart is side by side back to 1942 appreciation rates and mortgage rates. So a lot of people have the opinion lately that it would be better to wait until mortgage rates come down before they buy a house. Well, let's say it was 1976, mortgage rates are at 9%, and you decide, hey, I'm going to wait until rates come down before I buy a house. Well, that wouldn't happen until 1992. And look at all these years of appreciation gain that you missed out on by doing that. Now, I don't think it's going to take that long for rates to come down, but my thought is as you're trying to time your home purchase or maybe selling a house and buying another one, the thing to think about is probably appreciation and not mortgage rates. Mortgage rates eventually will come down. We don't know exactly when, but they will. And so in the meantime, what's going to be happening with home appreciation? Well, the biggest thing that impacts that is supply and demand. And right now we have a real housing shortage. There's a shortage of supply. Over the last 7 or 8 years, there's been more household growth than there has been housing completions. And so we're just not building houses fast enough to keep up with the household growth. If you look at the demographics of the United States today, there's drastically more homebuyer age people than there have been over the last couple of decades. And so that means this housing shortage is most likely not going to be solved anytime soon. And that shortage of supply, the low inventory is pushing home prices higher. Now, in the local market here in Yuma, the median home price is about $290. Now, if you look at historical appreciation, that just means over the last 5 years, we've had an average of 8.4% that homes have gone up. Now, if you zoom out a little bit more over 10 years, it's a little more conservative. It's just over 5%. And we actually have 63 years of data on this. And the long-term average of homes going up is about 4% a year. So if you forecast that over the next 4 years, the next 4 or 5 years, you could see a house that today is 300,000, 3 years from now is going to be about 338, and 5 years from now will be 366. So by waiting for lower rates, you might end up missing out on that appreciation gain. The other thing to focus on, this shows you 3 years, is amortization. So if you're renting versus owning, then this just shows you over 3 years, you'd pay down that loan by about $8,600. So total 3 years end up losing about $48,000. So now mortgage rates are a whole nother topic. So mortgage rates kind of peaked out very close to 8% earlier this year, and now they've come down to about 7%. So who knows how much more they're going to come down, if it's going to go back up. It's really hard to say, but as mortgage rates come down, it increases people's buying power. So this just shows you it's about this difference of close to 8% down to 7 has increased people's buying power by about $25,000. The more the rates go down, the more potential buyers will come into the market, and the more constricted that supply is going to be. And so I think all signs are pointing to homes continuing to go up in value. And so the most important thing right now is making sure that you're working with a lender that's going to monitor rates for you after closing. And so my team has a program called the Rate Redo program, where we do your loan up front. Then we're going to monitor the interest rate every single month. And we've invested in some different technologies, including this HomeBot, where we can monitor your equity position. But then we'll also be keeping an eye on interest rates. And when the possibility of refinancing and saving money comes about, then we have a zero out of pocket and a zero increase to your loan term refinance program that we're going to be able to do for you. Because what's going to happen is as soon as rates start coming down, you're going to start getting calls and text messages and spammy emails and postcards from every single mortgage company in the country. And the thing to realize is that there's a lot of fine print on that kind of stuff. And we want to help you sort through that and make sure that you're getting the best possible deal.